President Trump is responsible not only for thousands of Coast Guard personnel not getting paid, but hundreds of thousands of other federal employees also not getting paid.
I love to hear him talk.
It is mutual.
I love to hear him talk. He can talk the ears off a jackrabbit. He has waxed eloquently many times in this chamber. I remember back in 2005, 2006. Now, my esteemed colleague knows full well that his resolution will not accomplish either border security or opening up of this government, because President Donald Trump is going to veto it. It will be a futile, useless exercise. Now, we can go through it if you want to. You can spend all day trying to teach a goat how to climb a tree, but you're better off hiring a squirrel in the first place. And there is a measure before this Senate. The president has put a proposal on the table that will satisfy many of the concerns of our Democratic friends and ensure border security.
You have to hand it to Senator John Kennedy. The man is a national treasure. While Chuck Schumer was on the Senate floor giving a long, dramatic speech about who to blame for the shutdown, Kennedy stood up and delivered a masterclass in how to dismantle an argument with Southern charm and brutal logic. He didn't just disagree, he reached into the history books, pulled out Schumer's own past quotes supporting a border wall, and then compared his current proposal to trying to teach a goat how to climb a tree. This is political theater at its finest. We're about to play the clip. Stick around, because after the video, I'll break down the 3 moments that left Schumer with absolutely nothing to say.
The senator from Louisiana is recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. As my colleagues know, we have about 41,000 active duty service members of the United States Coast Guard. They're running vital missions right now, Madam President, in the South China Sea. They're protecting our airspace and ports along about 12,000 miles of coastline. They're performing search and rescue missions. That includes nearly 1,200 active duty Coast Guard personnel in my home state of Louisiana, the 8th Coast Guard District. Madam President, for that reason, I think the members of our Coast Guard need to be paid during this shutdown until we resolve our differences. We need to resolve our differences. There are some good members of Congress, but right now the American people are wondering what they're good for. And it seems to me that we ought to be able to reach an agreement that secures the border, which I happen to believe can't be done without a barrier, and which also opens government. And for that reason, Madam President, I ask for unanimous consent that the Coast Guard be paid, that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of calendar number 6, H.J. Res. 1, that the Wicker Amendment at the desk be agreed to, that the bill as amended be considered or read a third time and passed, and the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection?
Madam President.
Democratic leader.
Reserving the right to object. President Trump is responsible not only for thousands of Coast Guard personnel not getting paid, but hundreds of thousands of other federal employees also not getting paid. Last week, I met with the Coast Guard Commandant, Commandant Schultz, and I told him to press Secretary Nielsen, who could press the President, to stop holding innocent federal employees hostage in wall negotiations. Now, last month, as we all know, the Senate voted unanimously to keep the government open into February, so all federal employees get paid and the President and Congress can separately negotiate border security. Today, the Senate will again have a chance to vote on the same measure that we passed unanimously in December. I expect that those who care about getting our Coast Guard paid will support passing H.J. Res. 31, a continuing resolution for the Department of Homeland Security, and H.R. 648, which are the conference bills for FSGG, Interior Environment, Agriculture, THUD, SFOPS, and CJS. So, Mr. President, would the senator from Louisiana modify his request to include the unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of H.J. Res. 648 and H.J. Res. 31 on block, that the measure be considered, read a third time, and passed on block, and the motions to reconsider be made and laid upon the table with no action or debate? That will pay all federal employees who deserve to be paid.
Madam President.
Does the senator so modify his request?
Madam President, reserving the right to object. I'm smiling because of the great admiration and respect I have for the senior senator from New York. I love to hear him talk.
The senator will yield. It is mutual.
I love to hear him talk. He can talk the ears off a jackrabbit. He has waxed eloquently many times in this chamber. I remember back in 2005, 2006, Senator, I was a mere lad, but we had a bill before this chamber called the Secure Fence Act of 2006. And Senator Schumer, and then Senator, a rising star, Senator Obama, Senator Hillary Clinton, talked passionately and eloquently about how it was impossible to secure a 1,900-mile piece of real estate without barriers. They talked eloquently. I remember agreeing with them wholeheartedly that legal immigration makes our country stronger, that illegal immigration undermines legal immigration, and that one way to stop illegal immigration, not the only way, Madam President, but one way, was a border barrier. That was then. This is now. Now, my esteemed colleague knows full well that his resolution will not accomplish either border security or opening up of this government, because President Donald Trump is going to veto it. It will be a futile, useless exercise. Now, we can go through it if you want to. You can spend all day trying to teach a goat how to climb a tree, but you're better off hiring a squirrel in the first place. And there is a measure before this Senate. The President has put a proposal on the table that will satisfy many of the concerns of our Democratic friends and ensure border security.
Wow. In just a few minutes, Senator Kennedy did what Republicans have been trying to do for weeks. He exposed the stunning hypocrisy and bad faith of the Democrats on border security. While Schumer tried to play the victim and blame President Trump, Kennedy calmly and methodically dismantled his entire argument. First, he called out Schumer's blatant flip-flop. He reminded everyone that back in 2006, Schumer, Obama, and Hillary Clinton passionately argued that a physical barrier was essential for border security. Now, that same common-sense solution is suddenly immoral? That's not a change of heart. That's pure politics. Second, he exposed Schumer's proposal as a complete sham. Kennedy stated the obvious. Passing a bill the president will immediately veto does nothing to help the Coast Guard or open the government. It's a futile, useless exercise designed for show, not for solutions. But the masterstroke was his legendary analogy. You can spend all day trying to teach a goat how to climb a tree, but you're better off hiring a squirrel in the first place. He was telling Schumer, stop wasting our time with proposals that will never work. Let's actually solve the problem. Kennedy stood as the adult in the room, defending a real solution while the Democrats played political games. He was the voice of reason and principle. Who won this exchange? Does Schumer's hypocrisy on the wall make you angry? Let me know in the comments. If you believe in securing the border, hit that like button and subscribe for more straight talk.